Once in a century, an exceptional genius is born, and they're designed for accomplishment, engineered for success, and endowed with the seed of greatness. The phenomenal genius of the century, Dr. Apj Abdul Kalam. Any adjective would be insufficient to describe the exceptional greatness of our former president and scientist, Dr. Apj Abdul Kalam. In the pilgrimage center of Rameswaram on Pamban Island, then in the Madras Presidency, and now in Tamil Nadu. Avul Pakir Jainaluddin Abdul Kalam was born on 15th October 1931 to a Tamil Muslim family. He was born to Jainaluddin, a bought owner and imam of a local mosque, and Ashiyama, a housewife. His father owned a ferry that transported Hindu pilgrims between Rameswaram and the now uninhabited Dhanushkodi. He was the youngest in the family, with 4 elder brothers and a sister. His ancestral tree consists of wealthy traders and landowners who owned numerous properties and land. Apart from ferrying pilgrims between the mainland and Pamban, they were also involved in trading groceries to and from Sri Lanka, and hence the family acquired the title of Marakalam Iyakivar, wooden boat steers, which over the years became shortened to Marekar. When the Pamban Bridge to the mainland was opened in 1940, the family business failed and the family fortune and properties were lost over time, apart from the ancestral home. By his early childhood, Kalam's family had become poor. He began selling newspapers at an early age to supplement the family's income. Despite the family's financial insufficiency, all the children were raised in an atmosphere of love and compassion. Although he was an average student in school, he was eager to learn about new things. He loved mathematics and spent hours studying the subject.
Learning gives creativity. Creativity leads to thinking. Thinking provides knowledge. Knowledge makes you great.
After attending Short's Higher Secondary School, he graduated from St. Joseph's College, Tiruchirappalli in 1954. Kalam dreamed of becoming a fighter pilot, but his dream became futile when he failed to acquire a position at the IAF. On the first attempt, he could only achieve the 9th position. However, in IAF, there were only 8 positions. During Kalam's senior project, the dean was dissatisfied with his lack of progress and threatened to revoke his scholarship unless the project was completed within 3 days. Kalam met the deadline, impressing the dean, who later said to him, "I was putting you under stress and asking you to meet a difficult deadline."
History has proven that those who dare to imagine the impossible are the ones who break all the human limitations.
He graduated from Madras Institute of Technology in 1960 and joined as a scientist in the Aeronautical Development Establishment of the Defence Research and Development Organization after becoming a member of the Defence Research and Development Service (DRDS). He began his career by designing a small hovercraft, but was unconvinced by his choice of a job at DRDO. He worked under the renowned space scientist Vikram Sarabhai as a part of the in-course power committee. Having begun work on an expandable rocket independently at DRDO in 1965, Kalam was transferred to the Indian Space Research Organisation (ISRO) in 1969, where he was the project director of India's first satellite launch vehicle, SLV-3, that successfully deployed the Rohini satellite in near-Earth orbit in July 1980. Kalam had previously worked on an expandable rocket independently at DRDO in 1965. He received the government's approval and expanded the program to include more engineers in 1969. He visited NASA's Langley Research Center in Hampton, Virginia, Goddard Space Flight Center in Greenbelt, Maryland, and Wallops Flight Facility from 1963 to 1964. Kalam worked on the Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle (PSLV) and SLV-3 projects between 1970s and 1990s, both of which were successful. He was a representative of TBRL and witnessed the country's first nuclear test, Smiling Buddha. He also directed two projects in the 1970s, Project Devil and Project Valiant, which sought to develop ballistic missiles using the technology of the successful SLV program. Prime Minister Indira Gandhi allocated secret funds for these aerospace projects through her discretionary powers under Kalam's direction, despite the disapproval of the Union Cabinet. In the 1980s, his research and educational leadership earned him great laurels and prestige, which led the government to establish an advanced missile program under his direction. In response to the suggestion by the then Defence Minister R. Venkataraman, Kalam and Dr. V.S. Arunachalam worked on a proposal for simultaneous development of a queue of missiles instead of taking three missiles one after another. R. Venkataraman was instrumental in getting the cabinet approval for allocating 3.88 billion for the mission and named Integrated Guided Missile Development Program (IGMDP) and appointed Kalam as the chief executive. Kalam played a significant part in developing many missiles under the mission, including Agni, an intermediate range ballistic missile, and Prithvi, a tactical surface-to-surface missile. These projects received several backlashes for their mismanagement and cost and time overruns. Kalam served as a chief scientific advisor to the Prime Minister and Secretary of the Defence Research and Development Organisation from July 1992 to December 1999. The Pokhran II nuclear tests were conducted during this period, in which he played an intensive political and technological role. During the testing phase, he served as a chief project coordinator, along with Rajagopala Chidambaram. Media coverage of Abdul Kalam during this period made him the country's best-known nuclear scientist. Along with cardiologist Soma Raju, Kalam developed a low-cost coronary stent named the Kalam Raju stent in 1998. In 2012, the duo designed a rugged tablet computer for healthcare in rural areas, which was named the Kalam Raju tablet. Kalam served as the 11th President of India from 25th July 2002 to 25th July 2007, was achieved by winning a presidential election in 2002 with a massive margin of votes. National Democratic Alliances nominated him to be president, and it was supported by Samajwadi Party and National Congress Party. He was lovingly called as People's President, as he had done countless works for the welfare of the people. He was brave and courageous enough to take decisions and implement them, no matter if that was tough or sensitive or highly controversial. Kalam expressed his wish to take up the position one more time, but then later changed his mind. After taking farewell from the office, he shifted and commenced his career as a visiting professor at the Indian Institute of Management in Shillong. He served as an aerospace engineering professor at Anna University, Tamil Nadu. He also lit up educational institutions like the Indian Institute of Indore Indian Institute of Bangalore with his presence and knowledge. Sir Abdul Kalam also served as Chancellor for Indian Institute of Space Science and Technology, Thiruvananthapuram. Dr. Abdul Kalam was a person who was not only a great political leader, but also a good teacher and a writer. He had many delicate qualities and visionaries. He always had an excellent dream for the country's development and realized that the youth can bring revolution. During his university career, he inspired many students through his inspirational speech and tremendous vision. Apart from this, Dr. Kalam was a great writer. He has authored several books, which are mainly meant for the nation's empowerment. His creation of India 2020 was like a gift for us, and he had all the strategies to make India a superpower. In this book, he had primarily focused on some factors like food, development in agricultural sector, improved healthcare facilities, advanced information and communication system, good infrastructure, sufficiency in electricity production, and self-reliance in some advanced technologies. Dr. Abdul Kalam has authored many books which are mainly meant for nation's empowerment and youth's development. Some of his books are India 2020, A Vision for the New Millennium, Ignited Minds, Unleashing the Power Within India, The Luminous Sparks, and Wings of Fire. On 27 July 2015, Kalam travelled to Shillong to deliver a lecture on creating a livable planet Earth at the Indian Institute of Management, Shillong. While climbing a flight of stairs, he experienced some discomfort, but was able to enter the auditorium after a brief rest. At around 6:35 p.m. Indian Standard Time, only 5 minutes into his lecture, he collapsed. He was rushed to the nearby Bethany Hospital in a critical condition. Upon arrival, he lacked a pulse or any other signs of life. Despite being placed in the intensive care unit, Kalam was confirmed dead of a sudden cardiac arrest at 7:45 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Then his body was airlifted to Guwahati, and from there it was taken to New Delhi in an Air Force plane. The President, Vice President, Prime Minister, and many other leaders prayed for his soul. His body was then shrouded in the Indian national flag and brought to his hometown. About 350,000 people attended his funeral event and prayed for such a great soul. As we know, everyone who takes birth on the earth has to die one day. Dr. Apj Abdul Kalam was one such personality who died at 83, but his greatness still lives through his deeds.